Hello. This video is going to be a little different than my other videos. It's a devlog. I'm working on a video that's going into more details about how to turn an image into Game Boy graphics. I want to have a part where I animate changing the brightness and contrast of the source image and seeing how it affects the resulting image. The complicated part is that I want to composite it into a physical shot. At the start of the video, I place a picture onto my desk. I'm trying to make it look like it's that physical picture that's being manipulated. Eventually, it ends up looking like this. And this is where I want to do the contrast and brightness animation. My plan is to write some JavaScript that I'll run in the browser to generate each frame and download it as an image. Then I'll import it into my video editing software. The reason I'm doing it this way is because the video talks about my Pic2GB web app thing, and I want the effects to match what comes out of that. So I'm going to be reusing a lot of the code from there. One thing I'm not sure about is if I'll be able to programmatically download all those images at once. The animation is going to be running at 30 frames per second probably, so it's going to be a lot of files. And the browser might stop me from doing all that downloading as a way to prevent malicious websites from doing bad things. If it doesn't work, I'll have to figure something else out. So let's get started. All right, so I already have this directory set up with the source code I'm going to be using. And I already have one HTML page that I'm using for generating some images. Let's load up a HTTP server. Apparently I already have one running. All right. I already have this page that's I'm doing some work on. So we're going to create a new one. All right. Let's create a new HTML file. I'll create a JavaScript too. And I'm going to import it as a module because I'm going to need to be importing some modules, and only modules can import modules. And in my JavaScript file, I'm going to just create a simple function, do stuff, that gets called when the file is loaded. All right, let's double check that works. Open up the console, and yeah, we got doing stuff. All right, the first thing I want to do is create a canvas with dimensions for a 4K image. So the width is 3,840 and the height is 2,160. And I want to, just for now, load in this image and put it onto the canvas so that I can see if I can actually align stuff how I want it to be. How do I do this? Let's look at some other code I have. Okay, so that's loaded. Now let's get our canvas. And then I'll draw the image. All right, let's see if this worked. Looks like yes, but it's not drawing the full 4K resolution, and that's because the source image is 1080p. So we want to draw this so that should be the full 1080p. Now we're going to load in the other image, that one. Okay, so now I want to see if I can put that, basically I want to put the image onto that canvas and align it to cover the one that's already there. So CTX. First, let's just put it on as That's 0, 0, and I think the width was 854, and the height is 769. That might be in 1080p resolution, I don't remember. Oh, that looks like it's the right size. So now we just need to position it. I'm just going to do this by trial and error to start with. I think that looks about right. Okay, I want to do one other thing, which is to disable image smoothing, because I want things to be pixely. So is that still good? Perfect. Okay, so we have the image going to the right location. Close enough. So now we need to do the image processing. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to use some of my existing code. All right, so we're going to create another canvas. So we have the GB size canvas has the source image, and we want to turn it into Game Boy graphics. So we're going to need to get the image data from that canvas. Okay. So now it's rendering close enough. Anyway, so yeah, now we need to work on the animation. So let's put a lot of this into a function called render frame. Let's make sure this still works. It does not. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Why is this not working? Ah, that's why. Yes, it would help if I pass the argument. All right, we did it. It's working again. I think I'm going to rename this to render image. And okay, so now I need to set the filters, set the contrast and brightness. How do I do that? Yeah, okay, so the context is the canvas context has a filter parameter. I'm going to be, it's not actually implemented in Safari, I believe, or at least Safari on iOS. So you would need some polyfill for that, but since I'm running this in Chrome on the desktop, I can use the canvas's 2D context filter parameter. Let's give these some types. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Okay, so this is rendering like that, and we can set the contrast to 2 and the brightness to 2, and let's see if that works. Yes, okay, perfect. All right, so now I need some animation. And yeah, okay, let's do a for loop. Let's define this. Let's define a function that will, I guess I need to say, yeah, a function that will, given a ratio between 0 and 1, will render the image with a contrast between 0 and 3. Let's change this to be a, okay. And okay, so let's do this in 100 steps. So this won't work because, well, actually, what'll happen if I try to run this? This will just do nothing and then render it at 3. So I think this should, yes, doesn't seem to be working. Yes, I did not need that floor. There, that works much better. Okay. That looks neat. Okay. So now the part I wasn't sure about. Will this be able to download? How do I do that again? So we're going to get rid of this animation frame, and we're going to create a link element or an anchor element, and that's what's going to be kind of causing the download to happen. And I need to get a data URL. Yeah, okay. I'm going to try it with the data URL. The data URL might be too, the image might be too big for the data URL. I don't know if this will work. So, but we'll try. Click. Okay. So this should download 100 frames. Let's see what happens. Allow. Whoosh. I'm downloading them. Did it work? Looks like yes. All right, I'm just gonna reorganize some files for a moment. So I didn't seem to get all 100 frames. I'm gonna try it again. Okay, that time it seemed to work. All right, so here are all frames. We go through them. You can see it seems to be animating. Let's make a movie out of it. All those frames. I think this is wrong. Yeah. Okay, the problem is that my image software is putting these in the wrong order. I need to pad. How do you pad? All right, let me see. Bloop. Yeah, okay. That seems to be what I want. Will it run? Nice. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Now, one last thing I want to do is I want to give some easing. So I'm going to go to a wonderful website, easings.net, and I'm going to pick try the ease in and grab so this is ease in sign, which should be fine enough. I'm going to use the JavaScript code for it. Paste that up here. I guess that's TypeScript, so get rid of that. That seems about right. The easing seems a little bit slower than I'd like, but I'll play around with it. So this actually worked out perfectly. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. So yeah, I'm going to be able to use this in my videos, I think. And yeah, it's great. Thanks for watching. Bye.